What was once a glittering $100 million content deal with Netflix has now officially been scrapped. Sources close to the streaming giant confirm. The once celebrated partnership, announced with royal fanfare in 2020, has dissolved into silence after what insiders describe as a brutal exchange between Markle's team and Netflix executives. This wasn't a mutual parting of ways, it was a calculated and final decision from Netflix, marking the end of a relationship they say became untenable due to creative clashes, underwhelming content, and Markle's alleged diva behavior behind the scenes. Netflix's initial gamble on Meghan and Harry wasn't just a business deal, it was a cultural bet. Riding high on the fallout of their royal exit, the Sussexes were signed in a groundbreaking contract to produce documentaries, films, and children's programming under their Archwell Productions banner. But after 4 years, only a handful of content emerged, most notably the controversial docuseries Harry and Meghan, which drew in early viewership but also ignited fierce backlash. Netflix saw declining returns with each subsequent Markle-led pitch. Executives began questioning whether substance had ever matched the initial spectacle. According to one senior executive, who spoke anonymously due to NDA constraints, the potential was huge, but the delivery never met expectations. Meghan wanted control of everything from tone to camera angles but lacked the professional clarity to carry projects to completion. The source added, "This was Hollywood, not Buckingham Palace. We don't bow here." The brutal exchange that sealed the deal's fate reportedly occurred in early 2025 during a final pitch meeting at Netflix's Los Angeles headquarters. Meghan, accompanied by her PR team, pushed for a new docu-style project she claimed would reframe narratives around modern royalty and race. But Netflix wasn't convinced. After lukewarm feedback to earlier projects and concerns over her unwillingness to accept creative feedback, the company was no longer in the mood for persuasion. Tensions boiled over when Meghan allegedly accused the execs of bias and being out of touch with progressive storytelling. A senior content director fired back, "We're in the business of content, not crusades." The room reportedly fell silent, and just hours later, Netflix informed Archwell by formal letter that they were terminating the remainder of the contract with no payout on the remaining $40 million tied to deliverables. Far from the empowered feminist trailblazer image she tries to project, Meghan is increasingly viewed by insiders as difficult to work with and consumed by a desire for control. Multiple producers who briefly collaborated with Archwell Productions claimed she dismissed experienced creatives, micromanaged teams, and refused to take notes unless they aligned with her personal messaging. She came into meetings expecting everyone to treat her like royalty, literally, said one producer who had worked on an early children's project that never made it to release. But in this industry, your work speaks for itself. There's no title to hide behind. Archwell promised multiple projects under the Netflix deal. An animated series called Pearl about a young girl inspired by powerful women in history was quietly canceled in 2022. A nature documentary was shelved mid-production due to creative differences. And while Harry and Meghan pulled initial ratings, its overtly self-congratulatory tone left many critics unimpressed, with The Guardian calling it an exercise in vanity disguised as vulnerability. Despite Netflix's initial patience, the consistent delays, constant rewrites, and growing skepticism about the couple's commitment to storytelling over self-promotion led executives to question the entire partnership, Netflix has already begun redirecting its investments to other high-profile deals that are performance-driven and less focused on personal narratives. Meanwhile, Meghan's future in Hollywood remains uncertain, with Spotify also having terminated their deal with the Sussexes in 2023, labeling them grifters. Through internal leaks, the industry's patience appears to be wearing thin. "It's not that there's no place for Meghan in entertainment," said one media analyst, "but she'll need to decide whether she wants to be a content creator or a cause. You can't be both, not when you expect audiences to foot the bill." For Netflix, this move isn't just about cutting losses, it's a message. In an era where audiences crave authenticity and impact, the Markle brand has failed to evolve beyond controversy and curated victimhood. Hollywood may be full of second acts, but for Meghan Markle, this latest closed door might be the hardest one to reopen. As the dust settles, one thing is crystal clear. The streaming crown she once wore with pride has been stripped, and this time, There's no royal title to fall back on. And as the cameras fade and production lights dim, Meghan Markle finds herself at a crossroads that no amount of PR spin can fix. Gone are the days when her name alone could secure multimillion-dollar deals and front-page features. What remains is a reputation marred by inconsistency, entitlement, and a pattern of burned bridges. For an industry that thrives on collaboration, her isolating approach, often described as "my way or no way," has proven professionally toxic. Insiders say Meghan underestimated Hollywood's memory. She thought she could leap from royal drama into Hollywood dominance without doing the real work, one executive noted. But here, your track record matters more than your tabloid coverage. Even Prince Harry, once seen as her strongest asset in American media circles, is now viewed more as a tag-along than a co-creator. Without viable content or real influence, Archwell Productions has become more of a vanity shell than a functioning studio. Netflix's exit wasn't just the end of a deal, it was a wake-up call. If Meghan Markle wants a future in this industry, she'll have to rebuild from the ground up. Because in this town, fame without delivery is just noise, and the volume on Meghan is rapidly fading.